Yeah, that was really good.
Pissing me off right now.
Yeah.
So
I'm so quiet.
So good to sit
Hey
down
guys,
with
man,
you
we
guys.
haven't chatted in ages, eh?
Yeah,
good to see you.
We need to talk about this green candidate that flipped. What's his name?
Let me find her name. His name.
That's his name.
Temoki.
Tamoki.
Yeah.
Tomoko.
From
This-
Mangere, right? In South Auckland?
Yeah, I think we talked about it briefly on our team chat, and you had some great comments, Nicholas. But it's indicative of there is no real party that people of that socioeconomic class, those cultural groups of Māori Pacifica, they don't feel that represented anymore by the traditional left or what would be considered the left right now.
Yeah. And I think, like I was saying to you guys, like if Fessa Collins, may he rest in peace, was one of those kind of rare exceptions of someone who came from the Pacifica community from South Auckland, understood what it was really like to live in those communities, and probably was not as radical in terms of his left-wing politics as many of the other Green Party members, or at least of the MPs. And I think that Temoki is a good example of someone like that who's gone, you know what, the Chloe's and and the rest of that crowd just don't really understand what it's like to be living in South Auckland in these communities.
You know what? This is a side note on Chloe. I've seen her do it about 4 times recently. She goes out of her way not to say K Road.
Karanga Hape Road.
She loves Kaingahape Road. She's like, I'm down here on Kaingahape Road. I'm like, just say K Road. We all know. It's like literally when I was growing up in Dunedin, I knew what K Road was.
Yeah.
Like we know.
Yeah.
You don't have to be all out there. I was thinking about this. When I vote, and this might be, I don't know what you guys think about this, but when I vote, I obviously want to look at policies. I want to look at the person a little bit, not necessarily the personality, but the character. But I think I vote aspirationally. I vote for who I think is going to cultivate an environment in New Zealand where I can be successful, or for someone who's been successful, then I would like to emulate that success in my life. So I vote aspirationally. And I don't know if the left, I don't think the left calls that out of people in terms of the vote. I think that they want people to vote like safety and numbers mindset as opposed to what will help me thrive.
Interesting.
And they use community and whānau and iwi and angai as ways to frame that like collectivism and to bring all these people to the same level of through equality or equity is beneficial as opposed to cultivating an environment where we can all individually thrive and therefore all benefit. Does it make sense? I don't know if it makes sense.
But I
Talk to
always,
me about it. Help me.
no, that's interesting. I just want to ask you about it because I see the left as the most idealistic, the ones that are most, if you want to even use the word visionary.
Yeah.
I tend to disagree with the vision, and I think it's unrealistic and based on completely false grounds. This is the illiberal left, but is that not what your experience of the left? It's like we're all clean and green.
Yeah.
And we're all
I never see
communists.
them promoting prosperity. I always see them promoting equality.
Yeah,
And I think that equality is often realized at the bottom when we're all equally poor, equally broke, equally oppressed. Where like I would rather aspirationally vote for prosperity or for momentum.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, maybe I have a big vision for my life. Maybe I think that I could be successful and wealthy and have an inheritance for my children and my grandchildren, you know, where I don't see the left pushing that. Like they're against profit, they're against personal success.
It's more resentment that leftist vision is more resentful, right?
Well, people that
they
feel,
are resentful.
people that argue there are all these people that have been left behind, and you can argue statistically, obviously,
There
some
are
people
people,
economically do get left behind. They don't get on the property ladder, or they don't have the kind of skills or education that allows them to get the higher paid jobs, and so as the cost of living and everything else goes up, and that gap between wealthy and poor increases, then you can make that argument. I think personally, it comes back to your view of human nature. You're either like a Hobbesian who has a very kind of like dark, pessimistic view of the human, psyche, and that we're all ultimately kind of like out there to brutally compete for resources, or you're like Rousseauian, like or Locke, in the sense of people are ultimately a blank slate, and they just need to be nurtured in their innocence and their potential, and they'll do good things. And society is a thing that can corrupt you, but ultimately you're inherently good. And I think those two starting points really characterize the left and the right. I think I see this all the time. There's people on the right who say, but I don't trust that, or I don't trust them. and you see it on the left where they just assume naively
Mm.
that anybody has good intentions and that they mean well. And I'm
Well,
like,
anybody that
well,
agrees with you.
I struggle with taking an extreme view of one side or the other. I just don't. I think people are a mix of both,
I agree.
and not all people are a mix of
and-
both.
and-
But you
and-
know what I mean.
You see, like for the right, they see things as finite, which they are finite, and there are only X amount of resources and X amount of capital available.
Yeah, sure.
And it depends on how that capital is attributed and distributed, whether it's the state who takes control and gives it on the basis of everyone's good and deserves an equal shot, or whether the private industry and market determines who gets those resources on the basis of trust, credibility, and outcomes. So, what was I trying to say at the start? That I don't. Yeah,
Yeah, you don't see them as aspirational.
yeah, well, they campaign on equality, but again, I just see equality as like a race to the bottom in many senses.
right.
Because you're always resented if you have a little bit more, and it's that
Yeah.
whole cartoon of like
That's
it's not
right.
about giving people a bigger box; it's about cutting other people off at the knees,
Yeah, that's right.
and that's how it always plays out.
That's right.
Because the cost of making boxes is often too expensive. But anyway,
There's a saying that says an equal society is not a free society, and a free society is not an equal society. And so you go to communist, I don't know, Russia, and it's like, yep, we're all free. Sorry, that's not what they say. Yeah, they say that because they're forced to say that. We're all
You
equal.
mean, but they're not communists now, though. You mean in the
No,
past?
sorry, yeah,
Oh, okay, right.
USSR, for example.
Yeah.
We're all equal, but we're not free.
yeah,
You know, we're all equally dead. We're all equally poor. We're all equally indoctrinated. Cool. We have equality, but we don't have freedom. But the moment you want to have a free, liberal nation, you have to accept that there will be levels of inequality, and then you have to because.
yeah,
Freedom is your freedom to do with your IQ and your intelligence and your family what you want to do and someone else to do. But then we have to mitigate that and deal with that. But our primary vision is freedom.
but it's who you blame that inequality on. Is it the individual, or is it the system or the state? And then how do you address inequality? Do you allow people to dig themselves out of a ditch, or do you give them a hand up? And and here's the thing: as people become more successful, they gain more capacity and ability to help those around them. Through employment, through philanthropic giving, through donations, things like that. But if we don't allow people to reach that level of success and the state becomes the only agent capable of helping people, then again, we all end up in equally poor, equally broke,
Or
equally oppressed.
the only agent capable of oppression.
Yeah.
Like you do actually have to have quite a complicated view of the world, and that the state can actually be an agent of oppression. But also can at times in some circumstances be an agent of freedom and also providing and allowing for equality. So you actually do need a
Well, the state can cultivate an environment legislatively that allows you to create resources that you then in turn reinvest where you see fit, or they can cultivate an environment where any success above a certain threshold they take from you and redistribute on your behalf. And in many instances, we've seen people leave those environments and leave those systems. So anyway, bringing it back to this green candidate, I never thought we'd see a green candidate flip, and I have an idea. Have this guy, have Maria Mino Kapkingi, and have Takuta Ferris, have them start an independent Pacific, and call it something like Te Tangata, the Te Tangata Party. Have them start an independent party that is focused on Māori-Pacifica people as a cultural group of voters.
So
Like a new
Kapkingi
Kapkingi,
and Ferris would go after the Māori seats,
Yeah, and then he would be,
Moki would go.
he'd have his electorate in Mangere.
Yep.
And then they could really campaign, I think, quite effectively, getting a Māori-Pacifica contingent to vote for them. They would get that 5%, I think. But between their electorates.
Interesting.
we need a new left. I think Top is doing partly that. I think
I think
the new Greens.
It's
It's gotta slow down a
it's
bit,
very centre left.
You
yeah.
reckon?
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Um,
Even with the
Top.
UBI kind of concept.
How so? You mean social policy, economic policy?
It's a very
all of
it's
it?
quite a centrist.
Nah.
I just
policy.
feel
UBI
it's-
is.
They're
the
further left because
seeds-
of their gender identity stuff and some
Oh,
of their-
socially they are.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Even
economically,
economically?
I think so. This is an interesting thing: is that UBI has been sort of tested, piloted in a lot of countries,
Yeah.
which would be described as centre left. So
Yes.
the kind of I don't know. It's
as in like European ones.
no Canada, places like that.
So
So-
Canada's woke though.
I know that's why I'm saying they're socially,
Yeah.
you know,
okay. yeah,
liberal,
yeah.
but economically not as
Right.
as leftist as you might think.
Okay.
Like they're neoliberal.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
as New
Yes,
Zealanders.
yes.
So what I'm
Okay,
saying,
right.
yeah, all I'm saying is that the UBI thing, it's a little bit like working for families,
Mm.
right? UBI is kind of like, but their version of it, which I know they don't call
Citizens
it UBI,
income, yeah.
citizens income,
Yeah.
is sort of like building on that concept.
But to qualify for working for families, you have to have a family.
And that's
Yeah, I know.
oppression.
Yeah.
So that's
And
what I'm saying.
UBI is
That-
just
that-
you
but
exist.
They've expanded the criteria for it. Like
To
obviously,
anyone with a heartbeat. What a stupid.
yeah.
What a
Again, I'm not arguing.
No,
for
no,
it.
I know.
I'm not arguing for it. But what I'm saying is that they actually fit probably more in the kind of emerging
Yeah.
movement of
Centre left.
centre left neoliberal democracies in terms of yeah.
So do we think that they're going to get 5% top? I don't think they will.
They might get an electorate. That's what I think. They might get an electorate, and so
They
they might
failed to
have
do
an
so in all
MP.
previous elections, even
Yeah.
with strong candidates in places like Christchurch Central.
Oh, did
Yeah.
they have as many as they do? I don't remember that.
They only
Gareth
had
Gareth
16
Morgan.
Yeah. Where was
was-
he? Wellington, eh?
Yeah, but I mean, when the party first kind of emerged on the scene, they had a pretty
Yeah.
big profile. He
Yeah.
helped, obviously, in that regard.
I think because you remember their initial
Because I'm old.
push, right? Gareth Morgan. And I've heard you say a few times, they're really policy wonks, but I don't think they are anymore. I think they've moved away from those roots and they are a lot more, they're trading on a lot of these cultural and social issues, even though QLA would try and deny that. And
I would say
accuse Wikipedia of culture
she's
wars.
trying to avoid being drawn on any of that stuff.
But she hasn't, she's made it clear. She thinks that men can become women. She's okay with
but
children.
She
and
didn't really
puberty
want
laws.
to talk about it.
So she didn't come out and say, "Hey guys, this is my policy." But what policy did she come out with other than the UBI and the trebuchet?
Oh, I agree. But the people that, if you look at some of the profiles of the people that they're getting to run for top, I think you would probably have to kind of draw the conclusion that they are mostly concerned about economic issues.
They're very technocratic as well. It's
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
all
it is.
the
It's very
policy-
technocratic.
all the policies are very technical and like you do actually have to sit down and explain it.
It's
Their
just a lot of
policies.
lipstick on a pig, though.
Sure, that might be the case, but I think it sits with some people who are like maybe really intelligent and want to change New Zealand and make it all upside down and say, look, this is revolutionary, we're changing things and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know if that necessarily sits with the majority of the population who wants the real basic stuff to be done right.
When you
Yeah.
you saw that image of all of their candidates, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like 26, eh?
Almost all of them are white. Obviously, the leader's not, but almost all of them are white. And they are, when you look at their profiles, people with very technocratic kind of
Yeah.
skills background.
She
Why is there
she
a
put
race
out a
around?
video the other day, and she said that they do really well in urban areas with young professional workers.
Because that's what I'm saying, is that's kind of what they represent.
Oh, the people
Is like
they draw in.
white,
Oh,
urban, liberal, technocratic individuals. And which you could say is a lot of Wellington anyway. But
Well, it is Wellington,
Wellington,
yeah.
love-
Except for all of the people in the whiter circle.
They should run someone in Wellington. They might actually win that seat.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, we started talking about the Green candidate who flipped.
Yeah.
The Greens, they're like dropping in the polls.
Good.
I don't know if they're below 10% yet, but they were trending
like
towards
11 or something.
Yeah.
I saw.
Do you think that they'll continue to drop?
They totally should.
This isn't
I
going
don't
to
know.
do them any favors at all.
I-
Having someone turn on
I
them
think
like
the
this.
student vote is a considerable
Yeah.
advantage they have.
That's what I think is going to go to top.
Nah, they,
Really?
No.
nah. She's not as charismatic as Chloe. She's not as like.
Resentful.
And, well, Chloe has just done such a fantastic job at building her persona as like I'm anti-establishment. I'm here to tear it apart, even though she's been on the taxpayer payroll
She's
for
so
how long?
angry
over a
though.
decade.
Like she just
Yeah, but
puts me- I
that's the zeitgeist. That's the vein of
Just-
emotion that she's tapping
it's
into.
so it's just sad.
When you're that anti the system, you should have to sign an agreement to not take a government salary and fully fundraise yourself.
yeah,
And
Seriously.
to be fair,
Nice.
she's so good on the campaign.
she's
trail.
great.
She's
so good
very
at her
good
job,
at
but she's
like, the
so
stump speeches. and-
angry.
Did you see
It's
the other
just-
day
it's
when
palpable?
David and her were doing Ryan Bridge? And you see
Yeah.
that thing about how she supports New Zealand Airlines right from the front of the plane?
Yeah.
It's
That's
so
good.
funny.
And then
Man.
she's like, "We can talk about your flying habits."
They both got real serious at each other after that. Eh?
I think behind the scenes they get on pretty well.
You reckon?
I'm pretty
There've been
sure,
a few
yeah.
moments though that they've really
Yes,
like
they-
got under
Yeah.
each other's.
Yeah,
And,
into
and
it.
I've actually heard David speak quite positively about Chloe
Yeah.
publicly a few times.
Yeah,
when
no,
he
no,
said
she's
really
great
smart.
at her
Yeah.
job.
He definitely isn't underestimating her. That would be
Oh, I would
foolish.
hate to be up against her in an argument. Like she would, But she's great at her job. So angry. So is the other lady. What's the
Julianne?
no
or
the
Marama?
her Marama. So angry.
They're all
So-
angry there.
So angry. It's like just like she just gets triggered so fast, so quick.
They shouldn't let her do media because she is a great like co-leader of the party in the sense that people like her. She comes across to
like a
that
brown lady.
demographic.
You were talking
But
about
she's not good on
Marama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not good in media. She doesn't ever have any answers, and all of her
I just
all of her
wanna stay away
responses
from her.
to criticism are like very shallow.
But I also thought that the reason they have two leaders is because one has to be a man.
That was true for a long time.
What about,
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Was
have
it their
two-
policy?
Yep.
Yeah,
One male,
has
one
to be a
female.
man. But now there's two women. So
No, well, Chloe's non-binary.
what does that mean? Oh,
both.
but
She's
she
neither.
non-binary?
She's neither.
She could just be both. So they don't need two leaders. They just need her.
I thought she's.
No, I don't know if she's non-binary. I'm trying to throw her a bone.
Oh.
She wouldn't accept it though.
I don't know what that means personally. To
Let's be honest.
to pure.
She's
talent.
not
Oh,
into
oh.
the throwing of bones. Anyway,
Did you see that video of the Green MP who was like, she required, and all the national people put her on their thing. They just put her
yeah,
video.
Tamitha Paul.
Tamitha Paul, she's like, the government wants to kick you out of your dole and out of your benefits if you're not looking for a job and if you're not working. And all the national guys were like, yeah, like if you're not looking for a job.
Hey, did you
and
see her
can't
response?
work- Oh, she was like, oh, they care about me.
Yeah, she's like, if I was in government and I had the power to make whatever rules I wanted and do the things I cared about, I wouldn't be wasting my time on a backbench MP. I'm like,
no one.
you don't understand how the system works. Just because you're in government doesn't mean you can make whatever rules you want.
That's why you're not in government.
That's why you're not there. Yeah. Well, Te Pāti Māori wants everyone to have solar now on the taxpayer dollar too. Did you see that this
Yeah, they
morning?
do.
I sent it through. Debbie's like, did you know Parliament got solar on your tax dollar? Yes, Debbie. We pay for the
for
parliamentary
you
upkeep
to
of the
say
building.
that. Did we
okay?
pay for you to post that?
Now that's the standard. We should all get free solar. There's no free solar. Let me make that very clear. No one has got free solar.
Yeah.
We will still pay for it.
Maybe their connections with the CCP in China.
That might help.
Oh, yeah, that
they
could
can
help.
get the hookups that way.
But think about this, right? The government's like, all right, Debbie, you make a good point. Everyone's getting solar. What's the lifespan of a solar panel?
I don't know, 20 years.
20 years. So my great-great-great-grandchildren will still be paying for my solar panels at that rate if we do it on the tax dollar.
Also, I don't know why New Zealand, I might be wrong. I don't know why New Zealand needs solar panels when we have 85% of our energy come from renewable resources like water, air, and hydro.
Solar's renewable.
Yeah, I know, but it's like,
We're already there.
we're already renewable.
Oh, yeah, but we're going to need more.
Solar, mate.
The
15%
the
more?
advantage with solar, no, we'll see. If you put everything into a major hydro scheme,
Yeah.
then that's a single asset generating a huge amount of electricity for a lot of people, which
Wonderful.
is great.
Yeah.
But it's not a resilience. It's not a strength in terms of resilience. Because if you have an issue
Sure.
with that one source of
But we don't have
hydropower-
that. That's not, but we have multiple, right? We have wind, we have solar.
Well, let's
we-
say, for instance, we have a massive earthquake
Mm.
and the structural integrity of the dam where
Yeah.
we generate hydro
Yeah.
is compromised.
Yeah.
Now, it may not be that it bursts, but the point is that they may have to shut that down.
Yeah.
So there's all sorts of issues that can happen like that. Obviously, they're pretty remote, or pretty rare, although not necessarily in New Zealand.
So ideally, we would all have.
So one of
Our own
so
version.
just the versatility and the resilience that it offers us when
fair enough.
we can actually diversify or split
Yeah.
the risk. And solar is great in the sense of you can actually get people privately investing in that, which means that
and then you
it's
can sell
not-
your.
you don't have to go through the government in terms of taxes and the government doing the project and all of that stuff that comes with it in terms of long-term maintenance. It's just private citizens who are contributing to the grid. And that's one of the things I
Oh,
liked
you
about
contribute to the grid.
You can sell back.
currently
In Australia, you
Currently,
Is
you
that
can't
right?
really,
Oh.
and that's what I liked about the Winston Peters announcement when they were doing
Yeah.
their
Last month.
electricity policy announcement. Where they would say, now let's hope they actually follow through on it. But if they did that, you've got all these people paying privately for solar. There might be a rebate on it, but they're still stumping up that capital to equip their houses with solar, and whatever they're not using in terms of domestic consumption, it goes into the grid, and the power retailers, they buy it off them.
Well, think about how many EVs got bought on rebate systems, good energy loans.
Yeah.
If they had made people prioritize solar prior to an EV, we wouldn't have all these stress issues with the grid and the network as well.
Yeah, sure.
Because we've effectively bought in all this consumer energy consuming products without energy creating products.
One of our key difficulties with solar, though, and this is what I'd be worried about, is we're reliant on the Chinese manufacturing base because they account for more than 90% of solar in the world.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, they produce
because of the minerals and metals. And
and they've just
manufacturing and
so
processing.
they've sewn up all of the supply
got it all.
chain when it comes to that stuff. So I mean, if I was investing right now, looking for alternative, options, I'd be going, okay, who's producing and manufacturing solar in a country that isn't China?
China
somewhere like
was-
Sweden,
Yeah.
somewhere
You know,
with red.
15 times the price.
There'll be some in the US, but and I'd
Yeah.
have to look at the details. But
Yeah.
that's where I'd probably be putting some money if I was keen on
It's always-
renewables.
I just wonder when energy is going to hit that same. It's probably happening. I know they're doing it with batteries, trying to find something more effective than lithium for long-term rechargeable and
Yep.
reusable.
Yep.
And they're trying to find somewhere that fills the gap between lithium and nuclear.
Hmm.
Are we working on small-scale, super effective energy products? That
Solid state batteries.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they still haven't quite gone to market yet with that stuff. They are about to. I think there's a couple of companies, a Chinese company and a company from Sweden or Finland, somewhere like that.
Chinese and the Swedes.
And the thing is, the solid state battery technology, if they can deliver, as they think they can, then we're talking about batteries that are 2-3 times the capacity and way more straightforward in terms of they're safe, they have a better life, lifespan.
Can you recycle them more effectively? Get rid of them?
Yeah, you can, all of that stuff. So there's almost no downsides to solid state battery technology. At the moment, it'll be the cost trying to scale up and get it out.
They need to figure out like if that was the solution to some sort of key industry outside of energy, they would like fast. Like if there was, I mean, there will be defense upside. If we could find that there was only defense upside, they would like fast track all of that.
Well, they probably have already. We just haven't heard about
Power
it.
the tanks, mate.
Yeah.
Electric tanks.
Well, we don't need the tanks.
Biden wanted electric tanks.
Yeah.
Did you see that they've brought in all those electric buses from China?
Who?
The
New Zealand?
CRC ones? Yeah, they're like 16-seater
Yeah.
electric buses. Yeah.
Oh, of course
And
they have.
there was a news story the other night. Again, mate, I've been watching the 6 p.m.
This
news.
is so crazy.
And then, so I'm sitting with my parents, and my dad drives buses like from time to time. My dad does a bunch of random stuff, so he'll drive a bus this day, drive a taxi that day. Anyway, he was saying, "Oh yeah, like the buses, they're pretty good." And I was like, "Yeah, like they've all got kill switches in them." Like the UK said, who else said somewhere in Europe,
Like
Canada,
Denmark, Iceland.
yeah,
whatever,
and they're like controllable from a centralized location in China. So if you get into a conflict with China, boom, they kill switch all your buses, middle of the road. How are you going to move them? But they're like mini buses. They're like 16 seaters.
How
I
many
was
of them
talking.
now?
I was talking to someone about this, and he said, "Well, surely there's just a workaround. Like, surely you could just
Take it
bypass
out.
it."
Yeah.
Take the
I'm like,
chip
well, I hope so. But what if you're reliant on like 200 updates a year, which is what some of these vehicles rely on, right?
Consistently updating. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're constantly relying on the manufacturer to update the software in order for your vehicle to function.
Because the hardware is one part, but it's the firmware that they continually and they use it because when they come in and update your firmware, they scrape all the data as well, so they can track where you've been and for how long and what speed you're traveling at. And
this is why there are militaries all around the world that are basically banning electric vehicles made in China,
that's right.
from entering their base. So any employee or any military
Not allowed to drive
personnel,
it, yeah.
they can't drive their vehicle onto the base if it's made in China. It's not
spyware.
because people are being
Yeah.
racist. It's because there's a serious question around whether the CCP are using this to harvest data. The other thing I was going to say is the US and a number of other countries are beginning to question whether, this is true in Australia as well, beginning to question whether like Chinese car companies like BYD, electric car makers in China, there's a lot of them.
yeah,
BYD is just the biggest in this part of the world. Whether they are actually competing on a level playing field because they get so many direct subsidies and
those companies,
so much help from the government in China that it's just not really economically fair. And you could argue, okay, the US, car industry is the same. They've had a lot of help, but not to the degree that the Chinese car manufacturers are getting it.
Of course.
So
did you see the other day Nancy Liu yesterday put up this video all about
When I was a
school
child.
lunches? Yeah, have you seen this?
Yeah,
No.
she's like, when I was a child and I came to. Sorry, she's like, when I was a
Can
child.
you do a bit of
No,
impersonation?
that's just mean. She said when I first came to New Zealand, I wouldn't eat lunch at school because it was like traditional Chinese food, and I felt left out. And I thought that
No.
was
She
it.
said for the first 2 weeks,
I didn't eat food.
I didn't eat because my parents didn't realize that the school didn't provide lunch.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
What were you saying?
I thought I don't actually watch the whole video.
Oh, this
She went to,
guy,
this
guy.
she went to Pakuranga College,
Yeah.
where I live, and yeah,
Apparently when she came over as a 9-year-old. She came over as a 9-year-old. And look, people who arrive that late in life can change. Exhibit A. I hope you've changed.
Hey,
I
I'm a
did not
sleeper
catch you
cell,
chanting
maybe.
any death to Americans in Israel.
No.
Anyway.
Mossad hire me. Yeah.
She said her sob story was, the state helped her.
Sob story.
The state helped families in China. And it's like, yeah, they also made sure that you were an only child.
Yeah.
And if you were second born, you would have been out of there, mate. They're not having any
Especially 'cause
woman.
You're a woman, yeah.
Exactly. So I'm like, what
You
else
should
did
be
the state
grateful.
allow you to
Actually,
do?
yeah, they got
So
rid of a lot of
for
women.
a
actually.
very small fee of your ability to vote and have any say over your political future,
siblings.
we'll give you
Lunchtime.
school lunches. That's,
And isn't that just how sexist our society is, that we make women choose between family, career?
That's right.
Can
I
I get
don't
an
know.
amen?
I shouldn't have even brought that up.
Every day is International Women's Day in my house.
That's right. No such thing as Wonder
Even though
Woman.
there's only one woman in my house and 4 males.
Yeah, you
Nah, it's
guys are
good.
Nah.
you guys are like
She's
Aryan, he loves women. He loves all women.
all of
No.
them actually.
Aryan told
with
me if
all
he
due
could,
respect.
he would love all women all the time, every day, everywhere. Hey, you said that to me.
I don't.
You
recall.
said that to me. You
I think I
remember
don't
you
actually
said that if
recall.
there was a
I think it
chance
might have
to
been
love
lost in
every woman the
translation.
world-
I think no, they all
he
deserve
said-
to be loved.
He said, I don't call her Wonder Woman. I just call her woman because all women are wonderful.
That's right. This is
He
true.
loves them.
I just want everyone to.
I've
know.
never met a better feminist than Aryan.
Yes, I'm a hardcore feminist.
What do you have to say to all the women out there?
Keep going. Doing so good. Well done. Don't ever stop.
Tell them sorry it's hard. Tell them sorry it's hard.
Look, if I find a cure for the stomach pain, I'll
Oh,
Take
wow.
it away. Take
Oh.
it away.
okay.
Woo!
What was the
Shouldn't
next
have-
thing?
shouldn't have
What
even-
was the next thing
You're
on the
getting
list?
emotional. You're getting
Yeah, I know,
emotional.
I
What was
was
the
just
next thing on
tearing
the
up. I
list?
was just
Oh
like,
yeah,
what
India
was
free
it?
trade.
What was it?
Yeah,
No, I
speaking
was
of-
going to say
speaking of-
something about Nancy Lou, man.
No, don't worry about Nancy. We shouldn't have brought her up.
Yeah.
She's a strong,
How
independent
does
Chinese
it take
woman.
2 weeks? How does it take 2 weeks to realize they don't give you food at lunchtime? Surely by the second day you're like, oh yeah, they don't give me food. Mum, can you
Ramadan.
make me some noodles or something?
Might have been during Ramadan.
What?
Might
Yeah.
have been during Ramadan.
Yeah, no lunch.
That's true.
Um,
Wow, man, that was really-
India free trade agreement.
So those Indians, mate, they want to come over in unlimited, unfettered numbers, apparently.
I've actually found a solution to the India free trade agreement.
tell us
I
what you
thought
think
of
about
it as
India free
we-
trade agreement. Go.
You know what? There was all this hoo-ha about it. I love that word hoo-ha. Just keep using it.
I think you're popularizing it.
Yeah, hoo-ha. We should just take it to a referendum at election time because we're just going to bicker and argue about it, and no one's seen the actual document. Show us the document, and if you really believe in it, put it to the vote, to the test.
But here's the thing: if we go to referendum, it'll be like the country overwhelmingly will be like no, except Pepatoi, which will be like 100% yes.
I don't think it'd be the other way around.
You reckon?
Yeah, I think Baptoi would be like, because a lot of Indian people there.
They
like,
don't want any more.
Because
Really?
my Indian
Gatekeeping.
friends are like, no, there's too much immigration
Pull
right
the
now
ladder
from
up
India.
behind
And I'm
them.
like, oh, okay. No, well, that's
Goodbye.
That's why some of my Indian friends like say that all the time. And I'm like, well, okay, you guys are like, not supportive of each other.
Non-white people are the most racist people you'll ever
Right,
come
straight
across.
up, straight up.
Honestly.
I love it. Eh?
Asians, Middle Easterners, Arabs, Africans. Well, I
But
don't know about
it's
Africans.
when you have an ethno nation that is like got a class system and a caste system and a religious hierarchy and all these things and all these competing
Yeah.
religious ideologies and cultural ideologies. And
I think though that, and
so
again,
crazy.
I don't often say this, but Chris Hipkins made a couple of good points on the FTA with India.
flip it.
It was. He was actually
Put it
talking to Ryan Bridge on Herald Now, and
Yeah.
he was making the point that because there's no actual limit specified in the agreement about the number of international students that could come and study here, and the fact that those students would not be limited in terms of being able to work while they're here studying. He said that's obviously an issue because we're seeing rising unemployment. We're going to see that become more of a problem, unemployment, over the next year or two. And so if this FTA comes in, like, how does that affect workers' rights and also unemployment in this country? Because we've seen a lot of exploitation of migrant labor and international students.
I was going to ask, do you think employment does seem to be disappearing, but do you think it's because more employment is going off the books?
You mean employment, like
Opportunities.
You mean unemployment is increasing?
Yeah, unemployment is
Okay,
increasing,
yeah,
but
yeah.
do you think it's because jobs that were formerly listed or advertised are now going off the books and people are being taken advantage of off the books?
There is
Specifically immigrants?
there's definitely a growing problem with that. I don't think it's to that degree
Yeah.
in terms of it would affect our national statistics in that way. No, I just think that the economy's looking a lot tougher now because of obviously what's going on with the oil.
Yeah. But Luxon made a good point on Hosking yesterday. I wish I'd prepared it earlier, but he said before Australia had an FTA with India, we did a lot of trade with them, especially with lamb. And the moment that the Australians signed an FTA with them, suddenly our trade went from like 90% to like 3%
With Australia.
with India.
Oh, with India.
With India. So the Indians used to buy a lot of our meat.
Yeah.
And then the Aussies signed an FTA. We don't have an FTA. And
So
then
it's
suddenly
cheaper for them to import our products.
It's cheaper for the Indians to import Aussie products now.
Sorry, I meant to say
Yeah.
it's cheaper for the Indians to import
Aussie
Australian products.
now
of
that
course,
the
once they
Aussies
came in.
have an FTA.
Sure.
And so he was like, look, we actually are falling behind here.
Yep.
So
but-
there is an economic argument to be
I
made.
think we need to diversify because we're too reliant on the market.
On
But,
Chinese.
but here's the thing, right? Oh, so Australia cut our lunch there. It's cut.
Huh?
It's cut. Like
Doesn't have to
Australia
be
has
cut.
it.
No, it doesn't
Or
have
are
to
we
be.
going to go in and be more competitive than the Australians again?
Why-
And
no,
why-
so,
no,
why
just
couldn't
because
we?
they removed
I don't
tariffs.
see why. Like,
so then it would be an issue of who has the better product, right?
and
At a
yeah,
better price.
India-
And we would
India-
beat them on that. You reckon?
Sure.
India is like super well known for being protectionist, right? They
Especially with
they slap-
dairy and meat
they
and
slap tariffs
agriculture.
on so many
Yeah.
things. They're very protective of their own, manufacturing and economy and so on. Because their internal economy, like it's very agricultural in the sense of people have small plots of land. And, yeah, the agricultural sector has been extremely kind of protected by the Indian government. So being able to remove tariffs, which the Indians have leveled against like products from New Zealand on lots of areas, would be a big advantage to us.
But if they're already getting it from Australia, how without
But they're
undercutting?
only getting it from Australia because Australia can sell it for $50 and ours is unnaturally $75.
Yeah. So then we come and we undercut the Aussies, and then they drop their price again.
It's not a race to the bottom in that we go to 50 and then they go to 45. And
It
but-
kind of is if you
No,
want to
but
win that business, right?
we
Oh,
could
that's
just sell at
competition.
50 as
That's
well.
like-
And the point is that then it comes down to
there's more choice.
Well,
more
and does it
choice,
cost
more
more to ship it?
competition.
It will cost a little bit more to ship it because we're a bit further away.
Yeah.
And then without the tariffs, there's
Yeah.
there's
We're not
much
going to
much-
win the whole
I-
market.
I
We'll
only
just be
see
more
us
competitive.
Being competitive on quality.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, and
What's
so we
wrong with
could.
that?
And
So then we do luxury and we do it at a premium.
no,
No, but even it's just more like you can pick from two. Like if someone can sell it for
Look,
cheaper, they'll sell it.
yeah,
for cheaper.
it's also a massive
That's just
country.
like we're not going to take over the whole market.
India's.
I want the whole market.
I mean, India's an enormous population.
I want all
Send him to
billion people.
negotiate. He
And
needs to
they've got-
negotiate.
well, they've got-
Put me a seat on the plane. I'm coming over.
I think though that the potential is there for New Zealand, even if the Australians have got an amazing deal
If they've got-
already.
yeah.
Because India is growing, and middle class is growing, more
Yeah,
people are coming
hugely.
out of poverty.
Hugely.
So there's going to be more discretionary spending, and
Yeah.
It's
people
like
will be
saying,
more
why
interested
do we
in their
need
product.
Burger King when we have McDonald's?
Ooh,
There
buzz.
we go. There we go.
Burger King sucks, man.
Really?
I saw them advertising plant-based burgers the other
Okay,
day.
that's just
They've
woke.
had
That's
for
not a
ages.
king move, bro.
They've
That's
had
not
it
a
for
king
ages.
move.
That's way
Burger
too
King
woke.
have had
Sushi's
plant-based
for woke
for ages.
people.
Years.
So I never knew that. So a free trade agreement, you think we should do it, but ask a few more questions that Hipkins is asking?
Everyone.
And Winston Peters as well, because he made the point that dairy was left out of the agreement. Now, you could argue, all right, dairy, we add to it later. I'm not sure that we have
Yeah.
that position, that leverage
That
at
strength.
that point.
Yeah.
And not that New Zealand's like the biggest economy that India has to deal with. Like they could have just ignored us if they really wanted.
Show us the papers is what I say. It's like Labour's like, oh, we haven't seen the details, and then New Zealand Force, oh, we haven't seen the details, and the Nationals like, no, we've shown them all the details. It's like,
No, they haven't though. Well, let me put it this way: there's a lot of stuff that they're saying that
yeah,
isn't-
exactly.
that
That apparently
national-
doesn't line up with
doesn't line up with what they've actually read in the papers.
So let's show us the papers. I think national.
I agree.
You reckon?
Well, I say national, but it's our trade delegation, so it includes maybe someone.
Yeah, but Winston and New Zealand First are part of the coalition government, and they're having issues with what's in there and what's
yeah,
not.
yeah.
So
So has Winston seen the papers?
I'm assuming so because he's head
he
of
says-
Foreign Affairs and Trade. So
So show us the papers. Someone just put it out. Someone leak it. I'll call Winston after this.
China. Big Gerry. Big G. Big G in the CCP.
all 400 million of them.
Why is he going back?
Bruh.
yeah.
Why is Gerry over there adhering to the one China policy?
Gerry Brownlee.
He keeps
I
doing.
mean,
I feel like he's always
Gerry,
there.
what's up with that?
He loves it, eh?
Yeah, you know what I think it is? I think Winston Peters did his thing with the Cook Islands to
Yeah.
effectively push out the
Mm,
Chinese in the
mm.
Pacific, especially the Cook Islands being a realm country of New Zealand, which is basically we run their defense and strategy and foreign policy.
Yeah.
And it was very explicitly or implicitly,
China
but
out.
like pretty obvious. Keep the Chinese out. The CCP, I mean, not the Chinese. Love the Chinese. But and I think Jerry's gone for some damage control and say, "Oh, look, we're still friends. Don't worry about us." Especially
Gerry
in-
Brownlee is a Sinophile, right? He loves China.
Sinophobe.
That's
that
what,
what they're
that's what sinophobe is.
What is file?
A sinophobe would be
Oh,
like
sinophobe.
fearful of Chinese.
Of Chinese. That's not me.
Sinophile, lover of Chinese. Literally
Like
loves the Chinese.
does file mean love?
Well, it's like yeah.
Yeah, something
from
phile, like
philos,
Peter-
like Greek for
Peter
brotherly
phile,
love.
yeah.
Philadelphia gets its name. Anyway, carry on.
So Big G in the CCP says we adhere to the One China policy. Says that we're boys. We need to expand our trade even more. It's just-
Legislative. He said, "Oh, we need." They said, "Oh, yeah, we should cooperate legislatively." Sorry,
See,
what?
is Gerry
What does that mean?
I know he's the speaker now, but is he aware at all of any of the global geopolitical conflicts that are emerging? Some of the threats that the NZ
I think
is
he
saying
just
to
finds
avoid?
all of that an impediment
Yeah.
to just having a great old
I
time.
should read a comment.
You know,
I
it's
saw
just a
that
bit of
was sent to us.
backslapping.
There's some sort of happening on his back. I'll tell you that much. That's I'm just saying.
So,
If he can get an FTA on honey and honey potting, gee whiz. Holy.
whoa, Nathan.
No, I'm just. I'm
Um,
not making accusations. I'm just in the realm of possibilities. You know.
Let me find a comment someone put on our.
So
Struggling to recover from that one, then, Nicholas.
waiting for a defamation.
Defamation on who?
No, I'm just.
I wasn't
joking.
talking about anyone in particular.
I know. I know.
Big G in the CCP could be anybody.
I know. I know. And yeah, I think it's it's just a token thing, like try and smooth the waters.
Mate, honestly, this is going to just come back and get us so bad.
Kevin Ong. Can I read
Kevin Ong?
Kevin Ong under a post from the Embassy of People's Republic of China
Let's go,
in New
Kevin.
Zealand.
Big
It's
K.
always the countries that put Democratic or People's Republic in their name that have the most ridiculous policies and the most authoritarian, like Democratic Republic
Well, it's like-
of
it's like- it's
North
like
North
Korea.
Korea,
So
yeah.
it's like pronouns. Don't look here.
Yeah.
Don't look at my pronouns.
I'm gonna look.
I'm covering up something here. Anyway.
Kevin Ong, New Zealand and its government. Oh, sorry, I shouldn't say his name. Someone.
I'm not removing it.
Yeah.
I'm not removing it. Bring him up. Kevin Ong. Go. Big K.
There's lots of Kevin.
Pretend
Ongs.
you didn't
There's
hear
lots
it,
of
everybody.
people, yeah. New Zealand and its government presented future should present. I think he means present. Maybe he doesn't. Anyway,
Can you just read it? Just
like normally.
Yeah, like
Nah,
how it's
nah.
written. Just read it
Okay.
in English.
Okay.
But don't try and imagine his accent. Just do
Okay.
your voice.
Nah.
Go.
All right. New Zealand and its government presented future should consider an extremely more intimate, closer relationship with China. Chinese flag. People's Republic of China. ... on all levels of engagement. ... People's exchange from military collaboration, exercises.
Now,
to
why are you
trade.
reading this? Is this saying anything?
No, infrastructure projects which New Zealand needs space exploration, collaboration, where New Zealand have a chance to become Kiwi taikonaut, Servers on China, Tiangong, China Space Station to China, manned lunar Mars exploration mission, People's Exchange, Hugh Wu, no thanks.
He went from English to Chinese. Now he's like vaguely American. Keep going.
William Knight, Hugh Wu, you must from Taiwan. Hugh Wu, you must from Africa. Bro, what?
All I heard is
I don't know what the hell we
gibberish.
just
I've heard
listened to.
gibberish for the
Bro, what
last
are
2
these
minutes.
people
Were you having a
saying?
stroke as you read that? That
No,
was like,
he was having a
that was
stroke. as he wrote
genuinely
it.
that was genuinely very confusing to listen to.
So what was the point of that?
Well, it's just these people who are advocating for close Chinese relationship, and it's like,
Oh, sure.
what
They're
are you
bots.
actually saying?
Chinese bots, yeah.
What are you actually
Okay.
saying?
But
Woo, woo. Let's
look, hey,
I'm so
again,
glad you read that.
can I just say that the Gerry Brownlee thing
Yeah, big G.
is an example of why we are not just looking at Chinese nationals or people of
Exactly.
Chinese origin who are trying to undermine our democratic system, right?
Send me that photo.
You know who he
And-
looks like? You know who
and
this So you
coerce.
finish that?
No, yeah, sure, thank you.
We're not just
Um,
looking at ethnic Chinese.
Yeah, because the point is there are a lot of ethnic Chinese that are pro-democracy that are actually trying to escape what's going on in China under the CCP, and a lot of people who are very supportive of Taiwan, being independent, at least being its own nation.
Yeah.
And so when you get people like Gerry Brownlee doing what he's doing, just willfully ignoring, pretending that there's nothing wrong with the CCP and what they're doing to their own people and to countries around them, including our own. That's where the problem lies. So there's a significant issue there as well. We've got a lot of people like Gerry Brownlee who are not of Chinese origin, not ethnically Chinese, who are very happy for the big business
Yeah.
deals
No,
Yeah.
I
and
know.
to make a lot of money off this arrangement and turn a blind eye to
Do you
all
reckon
the
he's
rest
making?
of it.
Do you reckon he's making money? No, I don't. No, let me rephrase that. I don't think Gerry is personally making money off the back of this. but definitely some good network.
Yeah, I think a lot of people just like being part of this, club of
New World.
yeah,
Well, that's
business
up,
class, first class flying,
Like
business
Chloe.
types.
Yeah.
They love the perks. They love, what I'm saying.
So
The
someone
perks.
said to me over the weekend, "Oh, I can't wait for China to take over the world." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, just to point the effing finger at the Americans and all the trouble that they've caused." I was like, "You're a Muslim. There's 1 million Muslims in concentration camps in China." He's like, "Huh, really?" I was like, "Yeah,
How do you think they like Islam in China?
yeah."
Again, this is totally out of left field. You won't have seen this coming. But this is why I have trouble when you compare China with the US.
Yeah.
Because you say, sure, the US has its flaws. It has obviously a checkered, record on certain things.
Yeah, like January 6th. and
yeah,
stuff like that.
but let's not get into that.
Yeah.
And so there are major problems that the
Yes,
US
yeah.
faces, and some of their handling of international,
That's right.
issues, their foreign policy adventures into, like their military adventures into Iraq and so on, have not gone well.
Yeah.
But
WMDs.
yeah, but the problem is that if that's like the US, what standard are you holding the US
Yeah,
to?
exactly.
And then what about China? What standard are you holding China to? I mean,
Yeah.
It's almost
And people love to, whenever people say, "Oh, Americans interventionists," blah blah blah, they always go to Iraq, and I was like, "Sure, Iraq failed, but South Korea's pretty happy with their intervention. The Japanese aren't too mad with their intervention. The Vietnamese aren't too mad with their intervention. The Germans aren't too mad with their intervention. The Christians in Nigeria who are being persecuted aren't particularly mad with their intervention. The Iranians aren't particularly mad with their intervention. So yeah, we can point to Iraq. That was probably a failure, but a little bit of
Vietnam.
and look, and then we should all,
Vietnam was probably
whoever
bad,
you
maybe,
are,
actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take
if
that
you,
back.
if you think that there are sort of universal things that are good
Yeah.
and universal things that are bad, and I'm one of those people. I'm not saying that you need a one world government where one standard is imposed over all people.
No.
I'm saying ultimately people need to be able to choose for themselves what they're gonna do.
Exactly.
But if you put these two systems next to each other, one is comparatively much worse than the other,
100%.
and
Well,
that doesn't
Korea,
mean
we
that
can look at it.
that doesn't mean the one that's comparatively good is perfect, and it needs a lot of
No,
work,
never is
right?
perfect.
It still needs a lot of work, and it needs a lot of kind of leadership in that area. But picking your sides in a situation, it's mind blowing to me that people will
Should
go,
be a pretty
"Oh
easy
no,
pick.
China's so much better because they treat us nicely." You know why China is treating us nicely right now? The CCP are treating us nicely because they are positioning themselves. They are jockeying
Eat us.
for the top spot.
Yeah.
And if their domestic record is anything to go by, we are in for a very difficult
That's right.
21st century, the remaining part of the century.
Paul Gosman's come out and said that the government is very likely working in the direction of disestablishing the BSA,
Ooh, that's
So-
board standards.
the Broadcasting Standards Authority. Okay.
Broadcasting.
He's had a lot of pressure then, eh?
Yeah, well, I think ACT ran a petition, the FSU ran a petition. Sean has been relentless in his court case against them. I believe that he's had some good breakthrough there.
That's a no-brainer win, though. It's like,
Is it a no-brainer win, though?
Oh, it's going to anger a lot of people on the left.
Yeah, because the BSA
Right.
undoubtedly had to modernize in a sense, and that what it is outdated legislation, but they didn't go through the right channels in order to take action against Sean, and then they just on a whim, like off the hip, said, "Oh yeah, well we can do live streams, we can do online broadcasting, we can do
started their own demise.
Yeah, it was
really.
that kind of maverick approach with like, yeah, we'll just
We got
we'll
it.
just
We're
make
better
up.
than
Yeah,
everyone
yeah,
else.
like
so-
podcasts."
Yeah.
Because this is a form of communication. Like they would say they have jurisdiction over us.
Stupid.
So huge win for broadcasting in general. That well, not broadcasting. I won't call it that. For communication in general, free communication.
That the BSA is being disestablished.
If they do, yeah, because Goldsmith
Yeah.
has said that's the direction that they're trending.
They
in.
probably should. Yeah.
And I mean, if David's on it, like, he'll be pushing
Oh,
for that
and
side.
New Zealand First is on it.
Yeah.
So
And I think FSU got like 10,000 signatures.
they got a lot of that's
That's
yeah.
pretty good.
Mm.
It's pretty amazing.
good on them.
So good on them for putting that out.
Mm.
Let it be known that the Broadcasting Standards Authority will never have authority here on the Pillar podcast.
I'd love to get a complaint.
Not in
though.
Nathan's house.
Not here. Yeah. We're moving soon, guys. The podcast is moving soon.
We go new site. Get
But,
ready.
but anyway, any thoughts on that? Do you think it's good, or do you think that it's closed down one front to open up a new front with broader powers?
Yeah, it could be
It's a
that.
shout.
It could
It's a
become that.
shout.
Yeah,
That's
So-
a
because they
shout.
need something.
Yeah, because
surely.
like nature repulls a vacuum, right?
Well said.
Oh.
And people are going to want that. And I wonder whether it is part of this move
Internet
with
regulation.
social media regulation. Yeah.
So okay. So
Well, that's what David Harvey's proposed,
what?
is getting rid of the BSA and establishing a new regulator that does all of it,
Yeah.
but has very strong grounds and very strong principles around freedom of expression and speech. And
So he's proposed this in favor of.
in favor of getting rid of the BSA, but
Yeah.
not just disestablishing it, but bringing together something that brings all of this together.
So imagine you bring together a type of BSA combined with the chief censor, the privacy commissioner. No, that privacy commissioner can sit somewhere else,
Yeah.
but online regulator.
Oh.
How do you
Proposal.
stop that from becoming super controlling of all communication?
I don't have
public, digital,
David's full.
I think it is
full
dangerous
outline.
to have everything under
centralized.
one
Yeah.
roof. Yeah.
But
'Cause-
I don't know David's full outline, but that's one of the
Yeah,
proposals. I've
he'll
read.
have it. I'm sure.
It'll be very
it'll,
sound.
It'll, be, it'll make complete sense if you read it from him.
Yeah.
Well, I think the key would be a charter that establishes very clearly the limits of their
That's right.
powers.
That's right.
And based on principles
And their
that-
punitive powers and
Yeah,
ability
yeah,
to. Yeah.
Yeah.
and principles that absolutely
word.
respect the Bill of Rights Act. So
And is the goal to obviously provide a framework for companies to operate within, but then also standards that individuals have to meet, like how much power they're going to have to pressure private companies like Facebook and YouTube and
yeah, I mean, good luck to that. Like anyone that tries to do that, including an elected government.
Especially in New Zealand. What,
The
what,
social
4 or
media
5 million
companies,
people.
yeah, well, they are massive, and they have threatened in the past to withdraw from our, from.
That's
from our
imagine if we
space.
lost YouTube, that'd be such a
I'd
dagger.
cry.
YouTube is genuinely the only streaming service that I am happy to pay
Yeah.
for.
But I mean, in Australia, they haven't included YouTube in the ban.
Nah, no, they did.
Yeah, I think
Did they?
did.
Yeah,
Oh, they did, yeah.
Yeah, they
As
pulled them in
Roblox,
because
they did.
Roblox,
then
that's the Roblox.
YouTube
Right.
was like, oh, you
course,
haven't
of course.
included all these other guys.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
No. So anyway, so that's interesting. So congratulations to
Yeah.
ACT and the FSU. Hopefully it goes through.
And Goldsmith for taking
I'm
a
not going to
position.
congratulate Goldsmith, honestly. He's so flippant.
Well, he took a position.
And then
He got
cha-
beaten into
and then
position.
changed it. Yeah.
Yeah, his position was lying on the ground in fetal position as FSU and ACT kicked him and Sean spat on him.
Acting cluelessly the whole time, like, oh, no, I didn't realize
Nice
that.
guy.
People
He's a
felt
nice
strongly
guy.
about
He's
it.
a nice
Nah,
guy.
you know what? He should come out and establish the broadcasting standards gang and then not allow them to have any patches. Oh, combine
here we
both of his
go.
initiatives. Anyway,
He's funny. They really shot themselves in the
So
foot. If they just
philosophically
shut up, if
conflicted,
the
they didn't know
BSA
what they're
just
doing.
Shut up about the hoo-ha stuff or mumbo jumbo. No one would have cared. No one would
Oh,
have done
no.
anything. They would have kept their jobs.
Probably-
doing
it was
It's
nothing.
probably boosted their ratings for
Yeah.
the platform. eh?
it was a
Viewer-
passing
Yeah.
comment that no one cared about at all. And
Most
literally-
people.
Did you see someone post the definition of mumbo jumbo and it was exactly tikanga?
Nah,
It
really.
was like cultural views. How did look it up? Look up the definition of mumbo jumbo.
Someone probably out.
And it was no. Read it and tell me what the difference between mumbo jumbo and tikanga is.
Mumbo jumbo, an object of superstitious homage and fear.
There you go.
Yeah,
Well, that was anticlimactic. That was
And on that note,
sorry
was,
to burst your bubble.
That's fine. It's fine.
Lang-
Language
sort
or
of
ritual causing,
deflated it slowly.
intended to cause confusion or bewilderment. I mean, it ain't wrong.
Did you guys also? This is the final thing. Did you guys hear that I sent through that clip that TPU put up with the recording from Wire to Time?
Oh, we should play it for the people. You should play
Did
it.
you
for
see
the
it? Did you-
Yeah, I
did you
did see-
listen
I
to
did
it?
listen to it.
Right.
Wasn't all that bad.
So a disgruntled employee at IMBY recorded the Wire to Time and
Yep.
sent it to TPU.
Yep.
And they posted it. And they're like, "This is what's happening while everyone else is trying to work." And they're doing a full on haka. It's like singing, and then they're like, "There you go." It's just like
imagine-
heaps of people, eh?
Imagine that. Imagine that 30 minutes a day, every day. Like while you're
why
working
can't-
downstairs.
You know what? I'd be all right with if they wanted to start every working day with a 2-minute rendition of God to Feed New Zealand in
Here we
English and
go.
Māori. Sing it in
Honestly,
English
I
and
would
Māori.
mind that.
Both,
Boom.
like one verse of each.
Nationalist. You
No,
patriot.
start 2 minutes a day.
Here we go.
I'll indulge that.
minutes.
I'll entertain that.
I won't.
And then
Public service. Everyone in the public service has
Just
to
start the
sing
day
the
with that.
national anthem. Sing it.
Oh, especially put it like that. Yeah. Pledge of Allegiance type.
Pledge
I mean,
of
they don't have to.
allegiance.
I'm not saying they have to.
No, they
but
have to. That's my new
it's just-
policy.
And I
Let's
reckon they should do
put
it
it
with,
out there.
with one hand on their heart and then sending it heart to people and just doing a wee.
Whoa, 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 whoa,
Hey,
whoa! Are you
Elon.
sending out your
Elon.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
take it easy, mate.
But it's okay when
Focus
when
on Mars.
Mandani does it.
Focus
when
on
Mandani
Mars.
does it, it's okay.
And making Tesla
Mommy
profitable.
Donnie, Mommy Donnie.
Did you see with the moon colony that they're trying to build? There was like the real.
But how are they going to do that? They've never even been to the moon.
Well, apparently they're going to build a colony on the moon, and the real goal
hear what I
behind
said.
building it. Yeah, well, they
What's the
obviously
real
Yeah,
didn't
you're
land.
supposed to.
They obviously didn't land on the moon. It was all fake. But
I mean, even this time they couldn't land on the moon
apparently-
because they only had to go around it.
yeah, they
Did
went
they
around
go
it.
around it?
Apparently, the only reason they're doing the colony is so they can bury the Epstein files up there. I'm just saying.
What Epstein files?
The Epstein
You know
files.
what, guys? It's easier just to go to Mount Doom and drop it in the volcano.
To where?
Mount Doom.
Yeah. He hasn't watched Lord of the
Mountain
Rings.
Dew?
No, he hasn't watched Lord of the Rings. You should read it though. You would love it.
It's so yeah.
But you read fast. No, you
I
read
read
so much.
so slow, but
You read so much anyway.
I know.
Anyway, we're getting off track here.
Yeah.
We're getting off track here.
Yeah.
Mr. Hahn,
Yes.
final thoughts, feelings, and opinions.
About what? I mean, so many things to feel strongly about at the moment.
Do a promo for our other side episode that's coming out with that Trump debate.
Dear.
Cut a promo. Tell people why you won the debate.
Listen. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to let the
Because
people.
I'm going to do the other side, and we'll see what the people.
I'm
say.
going to let the people make their own minds up. All right. And all I would say is this: I don't really care about personalities when it comes to politics. I mean, I might have my preference when I vote in New Zealand politics, but I'm mostly looking in the end at whether people can first of all abide by the democratic system. Doesn't matter who you are or which party you're from. If you can uphold the integrity of that system as best you can, then I think that's a good thing ultimately for the country. There will be difference of views on policies and how you implement them in certain respects, but ultimately, are you prepared to honour the Constitution if you're an American, abide by the law of New Zealand as well? Then that's what I'm all about. So, people can get like irate, hot under the collar about
That's a great word.
Trump being
Irate.
for Trump, against Trump. Ultimately, look at what he's done domestically and internationally. Give him credit where it's due, but also criticize him where it's also needed, where he hasn't done things that honor the Constitution.
There we go.
That's
a promo.
that's my brief summary of a position I would take.
For those of you who don't know, there's another episode coming out alongside this where it is just an hour of Nick and I debating about President Trump while Arian.
And Arian trying to keep us,
Inflames
keep
us.
us,
Trying to
keep
cry.
us like.
I would say this. Yes to everything Nick said. I believe in everything you said. I think the debate is an interesting and entertaining debate.
That's pretty much summed it up, guys. So you
Yeah.
can just. not
So
even-
that's what I'm saying.
I won.
No, I'm not saying I won. I agree with Nick. I think
I won.
I think people can watch it and be entertained. And long live DJT. Anyway,
JT.
over to you, Arian.
Very good. My final thoughts is my favorite part of this week has been Donald Trump posting that picture of him as a doctor, which is aggravated.
Beautiful red
which
dress
is just
doctor.
as a
Yeah,
doctor, which
carry
is
on,
aggravated.
carry on.
So
When a man
many-
tells you who he is, you take his word.
That's right.
My dad's a doctor. He dressed like that all the time.
Oh, there
See?
you go.
Knew
There
it.
you go.
Knew it.
Live in the flesh. Dr. Hahn, dressed like that.
Yeah.
And I just love how it's aggravated so many people because it's shown us that they thought that, Trump was the one who was going to herald the new kingdom of heaven. And they were shocked and surprised that he's not a Christian. What? No way. Couldn't believe it. So that's just been very entertaining watching people scream and shout about that. Thank you all for listening. Did anyone else want to say anything on top of that? Any?
Well, you're the closer, so
I
why are
am
you
the
throwing
closer.
back to us?
No. I just
We're
thought.
throwing to you.
Well, I threw it back.
Your family all good and around?
Don't throw
Have
it
you heard
back. Don't throw it
heard any more?
I have not heard,
Right.
but the civilization has not ended. Thank you, DJT. Praise God. And we await peace. We await.
Bro, hurry
prosperity.
up. It's going to take such a long
Yeah.
intro.
We'll be waiting a while for peace and for you to close, but carry on.
And thank you all for watching. Thank you for listening. Stay in touch. Stay in tune. We'll see you soon. Oh, Riz.
Don't end it yet. I want to. Good job.
Aw.
Yeah, good job.
job.
Well done,
Aw.
well done.
Arian, just want to say good job.
Aw. Gonna
Anyway.
cry. I'm gonna cry.